Hello everyone, this is Manipulated today from the wild outdoors, and this is going to be my first challenge log. You'll see all the changes I'll make. I'm not going to reuse the pins that used to be there. I bought some extra brass rod so I can cut it to size using my trusted Dremel, and yeah, you will get to see all of that. I might mute this or later on speak over what I'm doing, just to ensure that my neighbors can talk and chat away outside as well, uninterrupted from my talking. So, and you won't get any wind noises or anything else that could be disturbing. All right, so far so good. Let's see what we can do. First, I used one of the old pins, the largest one, to get the right size on my brass rod, and then I started working on the pins while they are on the rod. That way I can get rotation on everything and don't have to use different tools all the time. Whenever I had time I wanted to wait or I had to cool down my other tools, I'll use it to work on the core and then go back to the pins whenever there's time. I also made sure that I'm always working quite close to the tip of the Dremel. That way I don't get too much rotary force on the brass rod and I don't have to fight the extra rotation at the end of the rod. And in that fashion I tried to form all my pins, some spools, some serrated pins. For serrations I usually use the hacksaw. For everything else I use different files, as you can see in this part of the video. And at the end I always use some kind of sandpaper, or in this case I used another Dremel tip to just get all the edges off. Then I cut them down once they are done and put them back in to make sure that there aren't any rough edges on them, and to polish them once they are the way I want them to be. Every so often I tend to take the measurements again to make sure that the pins fit their chambers, that I'm not taking off too much material, and if that should happen I would just redo the pin. But this time I was lucky, all the pins were fitting quite nicely into the lock after I finished. Here I'm going to try to make a tempered end. Then I just made a few engravings on the key. Before that I polished off the usual commercials that you have on the key and write the name of the lock and my name so everyone knows who made it. And then I do the same on the lock body, and that's basically all I did to make my challenge lock. And here, this is what used to be inside on the top, and on the bottom are my replacements. For my first pin making, not too shabby I think. The second and fourth chamber I'll do a little undermilling in hopes that these quite sharp edges might get stuck in there. And then I hope it will be a challenging challenge log. Alright, that's all for me, I guess. I did a little bit of overmilling and threading in the first two, in these two chambers. Just for the effectiveness, I did want to show you what the pins look like when they're in the core with the key pins inside. So this one just crosses the shear line, so it acts like a normal pin until it's tipped up just a little bit and then it becomes a spool. This one here with the very sharp edges does catch after all, so first it's like a spool and then it starts to act to catch as well in the undermilling I did in this part of the core. Here we have the serrated spool pin I made. The serration won't do anything here, but the lower end is very deep, could give us a good fall set. And then we have this very short barrel pin if you want, or double spool, and it is very, very sharp at the bottom, so it catches greatly in the milling I made in the core. And the last one is just a standard serrated, or well, a handmade serrated. My first pins. I'm happy. Yeah. So that's what's going inside the lock, and then I hope it will be difficult to pick. All right. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this little Rus T will make a few people happy. That's all from Manipulator. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.